is going on, everybody? Welcome to a live episode of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, YouTube Music, Pocket Casts. We are everywhere. The Substack, Spurs in Focus Substack is completely free. Go sign up right now. And as always, we thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Ignore the rest. Unsubscribe to those other shows. You only want to subscribe here to Spurs in Focus. My name is Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio. Follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. That guy next to me, he is back, everybody. We gave him a break. We gave him a couple of days off. He is refreshed, energized, ready to go. Mr. Rudy Campos of The Sports Answer. He is on X at The Sports Answer. And Rudy, we're going to be discussing the latest Spurs news from the rookie Quaintance and his surgery to what else we got? Oh, yeah, the Summer Spurs wrapped up, and they played pretty well in Vegas. We got some other Spurs news, such as how much are you willing to spend for items at auction, specifically Spurs-related items. So much more stuff, including, which we're going to kick it off with, was former Spurs assistant coach Sean Sweeney. He gave his reasons why the Spurs, in his opinion, lost to the Knicks. Most of them are pretty obvious, but there was one that kind of stood out above the rest. We're going to get to that in just a few seconds. Rudy, how you doing?
Good, man. Good. I just want to tell everybody to please be safe if you're around the South Texas area. A lot of flooding going on lately. So just be safe wherever you are. If you don't have to drive anywhere, don't drive anywhere. So, yeah, just everybody be safe, please.
Exactly. By the way, hi, Spurs, and we see you as the first one in the chat. Speaking of the chat, yeah, we're going to get to your comments later on the show. That's Rudy's segment, basically. He's monitoring the chat. Leave a chat and also super chats. You feel so inclined to give us a tip, please feel free to do so. It helps us keep the show going. I'm still confused about how YouTube does all their payments. I don't know. It's one day, really, we're like millionaires. The next day, we're like on the streets. I mean, I don't know what they do. Yeah. But hey, if you're feeling so generous, leave us a super chat. We'll definitely appreciate that. And Rudy, can I show off my T-shirt though? I know it's hard to see on the camera, but.
Ooh, turtles in the Riverwalk.
Eating Peter Piper pizza.
Wow.
That is San Antonio right there.
Did you get that at a con?
I got that. Yes, I did. I get it at a con, but it was like one of those loose kind of cons. So what happened was I got invited to go to somebody's store at Crossroads Mall, now Wonderland Mall. For us old 80s, 90s kids, it was Crossroads Mall. But now it's a Wonderland Mall. The point is, somebody said, hey, come over to my shop. I got some free gear for you. Just come over. And I forget that Wonderland Mall every weekend pretty much has something like a con. It's not a full-on Big Texas or Riverwalk Anime or Con. It's kind of a mini con. And some vendor had a bunch of T-shirts. And one of the T-shirts was the Ninja Turtles eating pizza, Peter Piper pizza on the Riverwalk with a tower in the background. I thought that was just very unique. Rudy, you couldn't get more San Antonio than that.
No, I would like to have seen Pistol Pete's pizza. That would be cool.
Oh, Mr. Gaddy's?
Oh, Gaddy, yeah. Gaddy. Is Gaddy still around?
There is one left in San Antonio. There's only one.
Pat Booker, right?
It's pretty out there, yeah. And I was near it a few weeks ago, and I thought about going in just to go and say, yeah, I'm back in time. But no. Wasn't there a Mr. Gaddy's near Ingram Park Mall? Or was that something else? Remember, it was right next to Joe's Volcano.
I think it was a Mr. Gaddy's.
It was a Mr. Gaddy's? Okay.
Man, I know Chuck E. Cheese was out there, but I think there was also
out there, yeah.
Gaddy's. Mr. Gaddy's was out there, yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, I miss those days. But hey, look, you're not here to walk back in time with us and reminisce about the good old days of San Antonio. Let's talk about the present and now your San Antonio Spurs. Let's kick things off with this. Sean Sweeney. He was a guest on the Ryan Russillo show recently, and the topic of losing to the Knicks in the finals when he was with the Spurs, now the head coach of the Orlando Magic. And, they asked him, hey, what do you think was the reason why the Silver and Black lost to the Knicks? So first of all, he says, quote, I have lost a lot of sleep over that series. Not fun. So he's still battling the thought of losing to the Knicks. All right. So I think we all are. And all Spurs fans are kind of like, oh my God. Technically, they were up. They were up every freaking game, so they blew it at the end. So, in his opinion, why did the Spurs lose? Well, according to Sweeney, it came down to two big things and then a couple of other things. But the big things, he says, he goes, it was a tough 7-game series versus the Thunder and bad luck. Quote, I think there's a little attrition having to go through the previous Thunder series. 2, bad luck. They told me if the games were 46 minutes or whatever, we would have won 4-1. Let's start off with those first two excuses.
Okay.
I think the way the Spurs reacted when they beat the Thunder in 7 games was way too telling. Josh Hart even said when they saw that the Spurs advanced and the way they reacted to beating the Thunder in Game 7, he even said they were food, that they were ready to get pounced on.
Yeah.
Sure enough. And what do you think about that? Do you think the Spurs thought that their finals was the Thunder series?
It sure seemed like it. I mean, everybody's talk all year was not about anybody from the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
It was about whether the Spurs can get past the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it felt like that was the NBA Finals right there.
Yeah.
Spurs gave everything they did in that series. There were games that they really handled Oklahoma City and very handedly, but it just seemed like when they were able to beat Oklahoma City, that it was like they had won the title. It was already summer vacation. It's time to go, turn out the lights. They probably didn't realize, oh, wait, we have another series for the actual Larry O'Brien trophy.
Right.
So I get where Josh Hart was talking about it. And I think you and I talked about it on Spurs in Focus around that time when we said that it seemed like they were gassed coming off of that Thunder series, but also that they were just kind of relieved and were okay with beating OKC going into that NBA final series. And I don't disagree with that at all. It did look like it, but at the same time, they had a lead in every single game up until the fourth quarter.
Game.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. I think I would put that excuse as probably a bad excuse. I'll give that one a bad excuse.
Yeah, just how much were the Spurs leading every single game? San Antonio led for 177 minutes and 35 seconds of total game time. The Knicks only led for 56 minutes and 35 seconds, which goes to his second point, which he says, oh, if the games were 46 minutes, we would have won in 5 games 4-1. But it kind of leads into his third excuse, which in old combo these, where he said it was a lot of youth, that the youth did get exposed down the stretch. So let's talk about that. Youth and not being able to close out games. I think that go hand in hand, Rudy. I'm not too surprised if that's what he believes is another reason why the Spurs lost. Not finishing games and youth. Your thoughts?
Absolutely, man. I mean, and all talk in the offseason was we got to get a big man. We got to get this. We got to get that. Never really heard anybody say kind of what you and I talked about, and that's you got to get another veteran presence. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, they went out and got Tobias Harris, who is a guy that's, been tested. He was, like I said, he was the second best player for Detroit last season in the playoffs. So if you need a bucket, Tobias Harris is a guy that can get you a bucket when you have those spurts, when you're not scoring for like 15 minutes or so. So, yeah, I mean, that's a player that you got to go get. But the youth part, absolutely, man. This is the second youngest team in the NBA Finals. Their youth showed. I mean, they were winning pretty much every single game until that fourth quarter when they lost those games in the fourth quarter. And that is 100% inexperience. That is 100% youth. That is 100% inexperience on the coaching side. I mean, they really showed their age at that time in the NBA Finals, which, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing. I mean, if you would have told me and Jeff that they were going to be in the NBA Finals at the beginning of last season, we would have said, no, there's no way. It's still way too early for this team. So they're on the right path. I think a loss is never a good loss unless you look at it as, well, we're playing with house money, and that's something that they were. So, yeah, the youth card, I think that is a perfect excuse to use because it was so under a microscope.
Yeah.
It was blown up so much that you can see it every single game.
Yeah. The youth finally caught up to them when it mattered at the worst possible time for the Spurs. No, Sean Sweeney did tip his cap to the Knicks, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson for their solid play. So he did not shy away from that. But he still points the finger at the Spurs for mounting mistakes. He says, quote, I think we've we had made more mistakes than in the previous series. So interesting there. And maybe you can say some youth to that. So there you have it, the mistakes and the youth. But one of the more interesting points is that Sean Sweeney did say another reason why he believes the Spurs lost was the media whirlwind may have been a distraction, since the players picked to speak usually are the ones that have great games, right? We see that throughout the NBA regular season. But in the finals, he noted that more players are asked more questions, even in losses, regardless whether they have great games or not. What do you think about that? The media attention, and even if we're just using Keldon as an example, if Keldon has a horrible game, he still has to go out there and face the music. What do you think?
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's the Super Bowl of the NBA. It's the biggest stage the NBA has. So, yeah, I mean, every player, especially during media day, media week, it's every player getting interviewed, from Jordan and Lindsey Water all the way up to Victor Wembanyama. So every player is going to get interviewed in some sort of way. So yeah, the media circus is something that this team didn't expect. It's not San Antonio, is not New York, it's not LA. I mean, it's not Boston. So you don't get this type of media coverage. And yeah, you get national coverage when it comes to San Antonio, especially with the way they played this year. But now you're talking, a really global atmosphere when it comes to the NBA finals. So I can definitely see, and that plays into the youth card that we talked a little while ago. I can definitely see the media presence being a little bit overwhelming. A lot of these guys, I mean, yeah, Steph Castle, national champion with UConn, but again, they don't have the global aspect when it comes to media attention. Victor, maybe what his biggest stage was the Olympics, probably before this. So outside of that, nobody else really had this kind of attention. And speaking of media and Sean Sweeney, I'm going to bring this up, but we don't do questions till later. But I love what Ann said, because this to me was something that Derek and I talked about. When Orlando hired Sean Sweeney, they announced it during the playoff run.
They did.
That is 150% correct when it comes to how it affects the Spurs. This is something where if you go to your job, Jeff, and you say, I'm leaving, they don't allow you to stay. They usually let you go right there and then, or say, okay, we'll give you the 2-week notice.
Yeah, but
that's something that kind of has to change, because during that announcement, we felt like maybe you saw a little bit of the Spurs kind of go a little bit backwards. Would it be because Sean's mind wasn't focused on the current run by San Antonio, knowing that when he gets off of a game and he's off the bench, he has to go right into Orlando Magic head coaching sense and do stuff for them, just to refocus again for game 2 of the NBA finals? I mean, that is a very good question. And I think that it does affect the team when you get announced as a head coach for another team. I think it's at that time the Spurs should have said, okay, we understand you're going to Orlando.
Yeah.
It's probably let it happen now and go ahead and go right now. No hard feelings, but we need total concentration. I think he did lose a little bit of focus during that run.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's now having to shift his thoughts to his future in Orlando versus the here and now. And I doubt that he, tried to sabotage the team. It wasn't like that. I just think it was like, perhaps you wait till the finals are over and then take care of business
and then announce it. I would say,
then announce it. Yeah, exactly. But it is what it is. But I saw some Spurs fans kind of push back on Sean, especially him, saying about how, as Ann mentioned, maybe because you, Sean Sweeney, got distracted by a job that you have in Orlando. So I thought that was very interesting too. But overall, he didn't really say anything too groundbreaking. I think we all know youth was not going to be served. We all knew that. I mean, we saw it, Rudy. We saw them crying. Victor was crying on the OKC Thunder court as if he won. They were celebrating like they won the title, weren't they?
Yeah, it was like a Pat Beverly when they made the play.
Yeah,
they got 1 year in Minnesota. They exhausted everything in that OKC series, but they lost focus, Jeff. I mean, that's completely what it came down to, was they lost complete focus in the NBA finals. They were on cloud 9 because they beat the best team in the NBA, and they figured that more than likely the Knicks were not going to be that much of a competitor when it came to playing against OKC. little did they remember that they only beat the Knicks one time in the regular season. So they ended up losing to them on a big stage too in the NBA Cup as well. So there's a lot of good things that the Spurs did in the finals, but I think they pretty much hung their hat on that OKC series, and they kind of need to understand that the season's not over. And to be honest, I mean, they were the best team in the NBA, period. I mean, they were better than OKC. I always said that I didn't trust OKC this year to make the NBA Finals, and you kind of saw why. They just weren't that same championship team that you saw coming off of that title run. So they took it a little bit a step further and thought, oh, we beat OKC, we're good. This proves this. This proves this. Doesn't prove anything. All it proves is that you can beat Oklahoma City and get to the finals. Job was never done.
No, absolutely not. But look, it is what it is. They'll definitely learn from these experiences they had in the 5 games series. I just really thought that the media thing was interesting because it really, according to Sweeney, it impacted a lot of the players. But you're right. The bright lights may have blinded the Spurs. They may have. I mean, think about it. This was not only their first postseason taste, a long postseason run, and not just for the mainstays like Keldon and Devin. It was even for Victor. Victor hadn't even made the playoffs until this past season. So there it is. But again, it's not doom and gloom for the Spurs moving forward. Now, will it be tougher next season? You're damn right it's going to be tougher next season. Yeah. Utah is an up-and-coming threat. Portland is getting better. They added John Morant. We'll see if he goes back to John Morant the way he was in Memphis. Dallas is going to be there. Houston's going to be there. Denver, they really haven't made any moves. They've been quiet.
Denver's I'm going to throw this out to the fans out there because there was an interesting point made that the reason why Denver hasn't done anything is because they feel like when they're healthy, they're a better team than OKC and San Antonio. And I kind of agree with that. A healthy Denver team is a very scary Denver team. So I think they're going to probably run it back with the team they have. And if they stay healthy, I mean, you're looking at a team that could possibly be better than OKC and San Antonio. I mean, not only that, but the other part too was those title teams that we saw, Jeff. You talk about the media focus and the media stuff. This is the one thing you got to remember. Those other championship teams were veteran laden. I mean, they had a plethora of veterans. So you're talking about veteran title teams compared to a team that got to the NBA Finals that doesn't have that same veteran leadership. I don't care what you say about Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson. That's not Terry Porter, Steve Smith, Michael Finley. That's not those guys. So that's where the difference was too, and that's why the finals kind of went the way that they did.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking about the West too. I mean, you got Minnesota. They had a LaMelo Ball.
They might take a step back only because they've only got one big man technically on the roster. Well,
Gobert. I mean, we'll see. I mean, the offseason just began, so we'll see if they're making it. But the point is that the West did get tougher. No matter how you slice it, they get tougher.
Yeah.
And who knows what to say. And by the way, I see your comment there, Coach Gio.
I see Gio's back, man.
yeah. Good to see you or hear from you, or at least you see that you're still alive and well. It's not because I'm a White Sox fan. Because my previous Spurs cap got really done, just grimy and looked gross on camera. So I went to a store. They didn't have any Spurs caps. So I said, okay, give me a black and white cap. Check. At least there's an S on there for Spurs. Oh, well, it's a Sox. Who cares? But yeah. Again, Sean Sweeney, again, he pointed to those reasons. But like I said, look, the Spurs are bringing everybody pretty much. They're running the team back again. They're running it back. The only major additions have been Tobias Harris and Billy Donovan. But those are 2 significant adds.
Huge.
They're not these like fringe additions. No, these are big time adds.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a young big man, Terrace Reed, Jayen Quaintance, more on him in a bit. Willie Nash return in his rookie season. We shall see. But they're running it back, Rudy, and I think that's the best approach. Just run it back. You didn't need to shake it up too much.
They didn't have to do very much in the offseason. So, everybody that was like, oh, we need this. We got to go after Giannis. We got to do this. I'm like, no, man. 1 or 2 signings is it. They got one signing in Tobias Harris. He checks all the boxes that you need. And I know size is a question, but I mean, come on, Jeff. Last season, they only played Luke Cornett outside of Victor. So, I mean, how much size do they really want to sign in the offseason if they're going to run it back? So they were able to get Terrace Reed, who's going to be on the active roster. And he's going to give you like 7, maybe 8 minutes a game this year, unless he has a massively good training camp and preseason. But that's really all they need. I mean, they're kind of locked in. I think they have one roster spot. We'll get into that here in a little while. But outside of that, they're running it back. They improved the bench with Billy Donovan. They improved the veteran need and the scoring need in Tobias Harris. So there's really not much else to do other than just hurry up and get the season started.
Absolutely. Whether you have those are comments from Sean Sweeney, but we need to hear from you. You agree with him. Those are his reasons why the Spurs, in his opinion, they lost. Youth, costly mistakes kind of come together. The hangover from the Thunder series and the media whirlwind. Let Rudy know on X at The Sports Answer. Let me know on X at Jeff G. Spurs Zone. When we get back, we're going to be discussing a lot, and I mean a lot of Spurs news has popped up since we last met everybody. We're going to get into some possible player additions. We're talking about running the back, and more on that in a bit. The update on Jayen Quaintance. The Summer Spurs actually finished pretty strong. We're going to get into all that and more. Coming up next right here on Spurs in Focus.
As your one and only leader, I order you to subscribe to Spurs in Focus. And all hail Cobra!
Name me a 2 better combo than freaking Wilson Fisk and Megatron.
Megatron and Psykill.
That'll be pretty good. Hey, you ever see that comic book, All Hail Megatron? And they had him as a gladiator, and he destroys Psykill.
I've never read it.
Yeah,
I've never read it. I need to get back into comic books, man. You told me about that one recently with
the Thundercats and the Silverhawks. I got a note for you.
Okay,
but definitely don't let your daughter read it though. It's pretty rowdy. Ice Cream Man.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
It is not for the faint of heart. Even I had difficulty reading it. It's pretty ugly there. Hey, everybody, we are back right here on a live episode of Spurs in Focus, joined by Rudy Campos of The Sports Answer. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcasts: iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Pocket Cast, the Substack. Spurs in Focus Substack is completely free. Sign up before I change my mind and start putting a subscription label on it. I'm not going to do that. But go sign up right now and, join the team here. We are now going to get into some Spurs news, and there's a lot of Spurs news that happened since we all last met on a live edition of Spurs in Focus. Let's start off with the first one, and that is the big one, is Jayen Quaintance. He recently had another successful, according to the Spurs, surgery. Now, interesting enough, the Spurs did not give a timetable when he may return, whether this season or next. But again, they did announce that he underwent successful right knee surgery. They did say the team will provide updates as appropriate. He is expected to miss his entire rookie season, basically redshirt. But Rudy, do you think it's out of the realm of possibility he could return a lot sooner than later?
I think he can. I think he can return, but I don't think I want him to return. I'd rather him get the surgery, recover, and then just kind of take the year off. And if he wants to play, I'd rather him play in Austin than in San Antonio.
I have no problem with that. They did that with Zach Collins when he came back from his injury.
Yeah, so I mean, and Spurs fans saying hope he's not out all season. But yeah, I think I would rather him, if he plays, just play in Austin, and even at that, maybe play every other game, every other 2 games or something. Nothing too crazy, nothing too big. I mean, he only played 4 games in Kentucky before he went out with that injury, so that kind of shows that it might be, he might be injury prone pretty quickly with the style of play that he does play. So I think right now, let me just say that I hope he does play. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to see him to play, but I really don't want to see him on the active roster. I'd rather see him in Austin more than anything. Yeah. Think about it. He's going to be missed majority of the season already, just due to recovery. So no reason to try to work him back onto an active roster on the team. Just let him play in Austin, or just give him the entire year off, get him ready for Summer League next year, and go from there. You're not gonna really need him too much this season, I feel. I think the Tobias Harris signing was good enough to get whatever Quaintance was going to get. That would be Harris's things. Plus, he's probably not going to get a whole lot of burn anyway in the NBA. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking Terrace Reed 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Quaintance is probably going to get about 9, maybe 10 minutes a game. So you're not going to get a whole lot after that Tobias Harris signing either.
Yeah, GM Brian Wright did note the medical red flags when they did draft Quaintance, but they were still willing to draft him, take the gamble, knowing the team is this team is not in a rush to bring him here. He's not going to make or break the season. He's not going to make or break the season.
No,
the Spurs are be well equipped to handle a season without the rookie. But interesting though, the previous two guests we had on Spurs In Focus this week both projected that Quaintance will be back as soon as this season. We had Raul Dominguez from the AP Sports. He said, "No, he goes, I expect from this season." James Pleasure, San Antonio Sports are like, "No, this season." I think if it comes this season, great. But I do agree that the path for him will be Austin for a while.
Yeah.
Test the knee out, give him some sort of live competition in games. I'm not saying they're meaningless, but they're not going to pick the win and loss column in the regular season of the San Antonio schedule. Austin, you can live with the losses if that happens. I think that's better. Look, Zach Collins went through it to rehab his knee. Tony Parker went through the G League, sort of.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that story when Parker came back from that was that kind of a thigh injury he had?
Yeah, like a quad or something.
Yeah, his quad. He did spend time with the Austin Spurs. But y'all remember correct? They brought the Austin Spurs to San Antonio for him. So there you have it. But the point is, they will utilize that as a way to rehab. And I think
if he came back this year, because talking with Raul and then Pledge, where would you expect him if they said he's going to come back? What month or what part of the season would you expect him to come back in? I mean,
it
tore his ACL in October of last year.
Well, the thing about it, this surgery wasn't like a reconstruction; it was just a clean out.
Yeah,
and
but still, you figure ACLs at least a year. Some players come back, 6, 7, 8 months.
Did Grant Hill come back earlier than expected for him? You have an ACL too, right?
Offhand, I can't remember, but I mean, Jason Tatum came back earlier, but Tyrese Halliburton is still out. So I mean, it depends on how quickly the player can recover. And that's why I said you just drafted him. I would hope they don't play him this year, even if he's ready. Just because you don't want to rush him back and cause more damage. That's the problem. I mean, you cause more damage, then I'm not being negative, but then he's a wasted pick if you can't get him on the court. So I mean, you definitely don't want to rush him back right away.
And again, it's not going to make or break the Spurs season. It's not.
No,
he's not going to make or break it. It's not a go Wemby or Castle or Harper, or the Fox or that level. No, it's not like that.
How do you put a ceiling on Quaintance? I got to ask that.
Duran. I got Duran
for Quaintance.
Yeah, I got Duran.
Okay, I had him. This is kind of crazy because I had to think about it, and I wasn't too far off on my draft comparisons when I do the draft stuff. I had him as Tyson Chandler.
Okay.
Type of player, good defender, really, really can jump out of the gym, really good around the basket, except I have him with a better offensive skill set than Tyson Chandler, just by a little bit. I think he's able to dribble the ball a little bit better, get to the basket a little bit better. It's weird because I don't have him as a really good post player, where Tyson Chandler kind of developed that a little bit. But I see similarities, especially on the defensive side of Tyson Chandler. Definitely a good pick and roll guy that Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox can get used to on some lobs. So for me, the guys that were asking about that earlier, I still have him at Tyson Chandler.
Okay.
Ceiling, I don't know. I mean, I could maybe go a different player, but I think Tyson Chandler's at one comparison. So it's better than Roy Hibbert, right? So we get a lot of crap for that.
Yeah, you give me a lot of crap for that. But I think Quaintance will be fine. If he doesn't come back this season, he's definitely going to be back next season. The following season, 27, 28, and probably wreck shop. I would love to see him playing with Wemby when he does return. I think that just frees up Wemby to do so much. I think Terrace Reed's going to do that too, free up Wemby to do a lot of stuff too. Yeah. But we'll see how that happens. So here's your update on the rookie, Jayen Quaintance. Other Spurs news, Greek team Olympiacos shut down a rumor that was circulating on social media that David Jones Garcia was joining them. This is for a report from Euro Hoops, says Eurohoops reached out to Olympiacos regarding a report about David Jones Garcia, and that he apparently, I don't know where these rumors start, made an offer to the small forward from the Dominican Republic. The EuroLeague champion denied that rumor. They never offered Garcia a 2-year contract worth $3 million annually. So that's coming straight from the team itself. And so first of all, check. If you all saw that rumor, it is an absolute lie. It's false. Don't believe it. Second of all, there is still one more spot on the roster, Mr. Campos. Does Garcia get it?
Knowing that Ingram's got his contract, I guess, pulled back.
Yeah. Ingram's gone, everybody. If y'all are Harrison in your head, he ain't going to be a Spur no longer.
He was actually one of the 2 guys that I had left, but now that David Jones Garcia is still available, I think that's your last spot right there for the San Antonio Spurs, David Jones Garcia, barring they sign another player somewhere, which there's actually, it's weird, Jeff. There's actually some really good free agents still out there. I don't know why they're not signed yet, but yeah, I think if nobody else gets signed, David Jones Garcia does get signed. I only see Terrace Reed and, of course, Carter Bryant from the Summer League coming back on the active roster. Outside of that, David Jones Garcia or another signee, there's really nobody else now that I had Harrison Ingram actually above David Jones Garcia just because of his height, but now I think it's Jones Garcia because you got to look at that guard spot. They could use another shooter, and David Jones Garcia can get hot really, really fast.
Yeah, and it's a shame because David Jones Garcia was having a good season with the Austin Spurs. He was just wrecking shop, 20-plus points per game. He even was selected to represent Austin at the All-Star weekend at the G League All-Star game. But he had a massive injury. I believe it was either a leg injury or an ankle injury. The point is that injury was enough to make a season done. He was done for the season. But as far as San Antonio play is concerned, he played 11 games for the Spurs, averaged about 2.9 points per game. He had that incredible game where he rescued the Spurs from a potential loss at the Frost Bank Center. So, but yeah, I think it's going to be him and his to give. And I can see the Spurs just giving him another chance to run it back, considering how his season ended. I think that'll be bad. By the way, great locker room guy. I've been in that Spurs locker room. He is very boisterous in a good way. Likes to have fun, play around, laughing with the guys. Staring at him, he's just making the guys laugh and kind of rubbing it in. Sometimes when they're just picking on each other. So again, great locker room presence as well. But yeah, I think David Jones Garcia is going to get it. And yeah, y'all heard the other news. Yeah, Harrison Ingram, his time in San Antonio is over. Pretty much done. They're going to let him find another spot here. Let's talk about the Summer Spurs. Believe the Spurs, they're done for the summer, right? We're done.
Yeah, they're done. They're going to make the consolation game in Vegas, but as far as the top 4, they're not in top 4 for us. Last time I checked, they were 5th.
That's 3-1, and that's not enough to get into the playoffs in the Summer League. Apparently. Oh, don't they do that scoring differential thing?
Yeah, it's scoring differential. Yeah. So they won, but I think one of the games was relatively close. So yeah, they're not going to make it, and not a big deal, man. It is what it is.
Yeah. A couple of thoughts about the Summer League. One, outside of the main rookies, which is Reed, Gillespie, and Brown, I didn't see anybody really stand out a la David Jones Garcia last season. Maybe RJ Davis, but then again, he was hot and cold.
He's Austin bound. If they keep him, he's Austin bound. But he's a guy that can eventually make the roster later on. But he needs a lot of work to be done. He's like Gillespie. They're good scorers. They can do what they got to do, but they're not point guards just yet. So it takes a while.
Terrace Reed, and what more can you say? In preseason action, he was the standout of the rookies between him, Brown, and Gillespie, in my opinion. He's bringing exactly what the Spurs need: ruggedness, doing the dirty work, staying in the paint. Wimby, staying in the paint, getting those rebounds, scoring opportunities, taking advantage of them. Doesn't really have that much of an outside shot. I'd love to see him develop at least a baby mid-range shot, but he is definitely going to be that bruiser they need. So A+ for me.
Yeah.
Gillespie, he scoring wise, he closed out the Summer League pretty good. He had 25 points in the previous win there recently. But my God, is there a shot he won't pass up, Rudy? Seriously, he is a scoring point guard. And unfortunately, this kind of ties into the other Spurs dude. We'll bring it up right now. Jordan McLaughlin, the Spurs re-signed him. But after that re-signed him, McLaughlin, ain't no way he's coming to San Antonio, barring something catastrophic. I mean, several of the Spurs guards have to go down. Sure, he'll get the call up, maybe just to sit on the bench and observe and watch. And if it's a blowout, all right, get out there. But as far as getting significant rotation minutes, that ain't going to happen. And then Brown, he is what he is, just a defender, and that's about it. But Gillespie, scoring-wise, closed out the summer play pretty strong.
Yeah, Gillespie, he's like we talked about draft night, he's a scorer. I mean, he's not a true point guard.
Yeah.
I believe he had 6 turnovers his last game, so definitely needs a lot of work. He needs to get, a lot of time in Austin. If they want him to run the point, let him run the point in Austin, just to continue to learn. I actually like the Austin team that they have going back this year. They're going to be real competitive. So don't be surprised if they actually, go back and win another Austin or G League title like they did under Mitch Johnson that one year. But Gillespie, true scorer, he shot relatively bad in the summer league.
Like 35% shooting sometimes. It was not good.
Yeah, his 3-point shooting was really off as well. So he has a lot of work. And I know a lot of fans out there on X and social media in general were saying that, hey, Brian Wright, Coach Mitch, this is your guy. Gillespie needs to be on the roster. He needs to be the backup point guard. Yada, yada. That was never going to happen, especially they slammed the door on all that when they signed Jordan again to another contract because, again, he was on the roster last year. Jordan often even got significant, minutes in the OKC series. I mean, he made some key 3-point shots in that series as well, too. So he knows his Spurs system. That's going to be your backup. So definitely Gillespie is going to be an Austin guy, unless barring, like you said, something happens and an injury happens, then the possibility of him getting called up is there. But at this point, you're probably going to go get a veteran free agent somewhere to kind of finish off the season. If there's an injury or something like that, not that they don't trust Jacoby Gillespie. It's just, he's really not ready right now.
Yeah, he's not ready. He needs a lot of fine tuning. Make sure the turnovers. I saw sometimes during preseason play. I'm sorry, summer league play.
Yeah,
just the pacing was kind of off sometimes. Definitely is a cracky scorer. He could definitely score in the paint. I saw him do some pretty incredible shots near the rim. But yeah, he needs to develop a shot. Shot selection needs to improve. He has a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And then Malik Brown, same situation, Austin bound. The position he plays, he ain't going to crack that Spurs rotation. San Antonio rotation. He ain't going to do that. So, and then, of course, we all know Quaintance and may or may not play this upcoming season. That leaves Reed as the likely candidate of the rookie class to get minutes in San Antonio. And he played pretty good in Summer League overall, California and Vegas.
Yeah.
Carter Bryant, it's hard to say anything because he only played 1.5 games, something like that. And the second game, that was his best game, but that was about it. He got a little bit of run.
Yeah.
So Summer Spurs. Yeah.
Young Lee was a guy that they mentioned that Tony Kimball was mentioning Lee on an open spot. Young Lee's a shooter, man, but definitely not an active roster spot guy right now. Honestly, I hate to say that, but I don't know if he'll ever truly be on the active roster. It's tough, Jeff, because you're the only one you're one of the ones that I do shows with that screams shooting. He's a shooter. He's a hell of a shooter. He can get going fast.
Yeah, he's Austin bound.
I just don't know if I don't know if he can actually make the roster. If you're asking me, if I'm a scout and I put my GM hat on, I keep him in Austin because I think he eventually can maybe make the active roster. When you start getting into that second apron talk and everything, he's a guy that you can bring in. He's going to be relatively cheap. So I think you do keep him. But as far as the spot right now, Tony Kimball, no, I don't see him right now at all.
Yeah. RJ Davis, Austin bound.
Yeah.
Aaron Miller,
Austin
bound. Yeah. I was telling somebody, we were watching the game. I was like, you know what? Sometimes I start tuning out because 95% of the guys you're seeing on the San Antonio Summer roster, they ain't going to be either. They're either going to be in San Antonio, a different team, or in the G League system somewhere. None of these guys were going to be able to crack. This rotation is too set already. It's too set, and
10, 11 deep already.
10, 11 deep already. So it's going to, I mean, they would have to really be like a David Jones Garcia level play constantly.
Like nobody's better than all.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't really see that at all from the Summer Spurs. But hey, after losing every single game in Cali for the California Summer League, they definitely rebounded well in Vegas, losing just one game. They do have a consolation game, so they will get some Spurs action still before the doldrums of the NBA offseason kicks in. As soon as that last Spurs summer game is over, it's going to be quiet period, at least for San Antonio. I think they're done making moves. I don't see any major moves coming up. You'll see a lot of training camp signings. I think that's the next thing you'll see.
Let me throw a name at you real quick, and this goes for the roster spot. Say you can get him get him young, get a young player, and you can get him really cheap. I don't know how cheap, but what do you think of a Jonathan Kuminga?
No, he needs touches.
Needs touches?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I only throw that out there because he's out there, but
yeah,
a young guy can grow in a system.
And also to that position he plays, it's just too stacked already. He ain't gonna get minutes over Castle and Harper and Fox, the guys. Yeah.
And again, I only throw him out there because I don't think my two guys that I would look at are Benedict Mathurin, who's a restricted free agent. I think he goes
then still a free
Clippers.
Yeah.
But Peyton Watson, why Denver hasn't already signed him? That's the guy that I've got circled as what the hell's going on. I mean,
well, see, it have to be something like that level to maybe push off David Jones Garcia.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're talking about a roster spot, I mean, if one of these guys is available, why? I mean, that they're better than David Jones Garcia.
Now they wouldn't take a discounted rate when we did it. Can they do it? Because this person don't have that much money left to spend unless they want to go into the financial luxury tax area.
If there's no interest from other teams, then you take whatever you can get, I would think. I mean, especially, young guys like Mathurin and Kuminga, it's like Mathurin scares the crap out of me. Like, what's wrong with him? I don't know why, unless the Clippers are waiting for this whole Aspirian, whatever, to go away or to be done with, and they haven't signed him for that reason. I don't know why he hasn't been signed.
Or they're waiting for you to give a commitment.
No, man.
No.
My playing days are what, 30 years ago, I think, something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Something like that.
Well, they have a good way to go. Summer Spurs closing out strong. Good luck in the next game. All right. Other Spurs news. Could local Spurs broadcast games be on YouTube as far as next season?
Are you talking YouTube TV?
Well, here's the thing. Okay. I'm glad you brought
I'm
that
going to
up.
find that out.
All right. So, in case, y'all know already, to see any freaking NBA game, you need like 100 apps, right? You need Prime. You need NBA League Pass. You need ESPN. You need ESPN 2 probably. You need what else am I missing here? Max, the
Prime,
HBO Max. They have it, yeah, and YouTube TV as well. So this was brought up to Adam Silver's attention during the Board of Governors meeting in Las Vegas during the Summer League about what are we doing with the streaming? Like, what's going on? Well, according to the Sports Business Journal, YouTube is the leading candidate to stream Spurs games in the local market after the collapse of Main Street Sports Group, basically was at FanDuel last season. FanDuel's no longer. It's done. So basically, the Spurs don't have a TV home right now. And if that's true, then YouTube can lead the streaming hub for the NBA as soon as next season, according to Adam Silver. Quote, he says that he expects the league's aggregated streaming hub for local broadcast to launch in time for the 2027-28 season. Excuse me. So next, not this season, but the following season, pardon me. With sources telling the Sports Business Journal that YouTube is the leading candidate to house the platform. So there you have it. And that happened, then the Spurs would go there. For those of y'all wondering, NBA League Pass will still be available. But remember, They blacked out local games.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Interesting, though, they said if there is a deal with YouTube, these teams that are left without a home right now, so it's not just the Spurs, it's the Hawks, it's the Hornets, it's the Pistons, Pacers, but several other teams. They're only going to be willing to do a 1-year deal with them. So it's interesting. It sounds like these teams are a little leery of what's going to happen here. This is just a mess, Rudy. This is a mess. Do you think YouTube TV is probably the best way to do this, or just simply do what the Mavericks do? The Mavericks just show them to the fans in Dallas. They just show them on streaming channels or like over the air, antenna. They just show them.
Yeah.
Why can't the Spurs just do that?
Phoenix does the same thing as Dallas. I think their games are free.
They're just
pretty much
free,
everywhere. I mean, let's be real, man. They salaries are way out of they're way out there. The NBA is making their money regardless. So I understand giving the fans, a lot of times you're pricing fans out of tickets too. So Spurs, you get that new arena, those tickets are not going to be any more cheaper than what they are now. So you're going to have to find a platform. And am I the only one that finds it ridiculous and stupid that you order NBA League Pass only to get blackout games for the team that you're wanting to watch?
No sense.
I mean, if you're paying X number of dollars for, all this streaming services like NBA League Pass, I don't care if I'm living in San Antonio. I bought it for the Spurs so I can watch them in different markets and all that stuff. I paid for it. So, I mean, I should be able to watch local games on League Pass.
Absolutely.
It's the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard of. And the NBA does need to do something about it. I mean, you were in a time where the fan participation and viewership was down. Last year, it went shot up. I mean, everybody started getting back into the NBA. Why not take advantage of it and give back to the fans? Because if you keep shutting them out and everything's getting blacked out, or you have to have this app to watch home games, but I don't want that app because all I'm going to do is pay $30 a month to watch Spurs games and that's it. I don't want to watch the other crappy programming. It's ridiculous. So I agree. They need to get something done. They need to get it done for this season and just give the games away, man. If the NBA has anything, say, hey, YouTube, you've got Spurs games. They're all free, right? Yeah, they're all free. Okay, well, out of that $85 a month that you pay for YouTube TV, the NBA gets, $15 of it. And that's it. I mean, there's millions of people that subscribe to YouTube TV. So that's a pretty fair trade, in my opinion, just as long as there's no blackouts, and that should be league wide. And, it's funny because Tim brought this up. I remember those days when they were on pay-per-view home games. They were like $9.99, I think, or $19.99. You had to have them on. They were on pay-per-view. Even playoff games, that sucked. The playoff games are on pay-per-view.
It's just a mess. It really is. I have people I know that's their parents want to watch games, but their parents, they're not going to be buying all these apps and trying to figure out, well, how can we get them to watch? How can we get them to watch? Can we get them to one of those websites, if y'all know what I mean? Stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully Adam Silver can get this, because again, I think if you got every single app you need to watch NBA games last year, it was nearly like 500 something bucks. It was like that. And that's including like Amazon Prime, HBO Max, YouTube TV, NBA League Pass, which is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so much more. But there you have it. Spurs could be coming to YouTube TV as soon as the 2027-28 season. Speaking of the Spurs have released the 2026 preseason. I can't believe the preseason schedule's already out.
2 months away.
Crazy.
2.5 months.
Can't believe this. I mean, does the NBA ever take a break? Why don't I remember a time, Rudy, when the NBA season was over, it was over, like for a long time.
Wasn't it?
Now
It started up in November.
Yeah.
I think the first preseason games were in November or end of October.
Oh my God.
And then the season started in November. It's ridiculous, man. But it's weird. They start earlier and they end the same time. So they stretch these games out. And what it suffers the most, Jeff, is the playoffs, because you'll have game 1 today and then game 2 is like 4 days later. And it's like, come on, man. Like, it's bad. Yeah,
it is bad. But yeah, I can't believe the freaking preseason schedules are already out. They have 5 games on tap And let's see, I got it here. Okay, so here's the full schedule. So it starts off Thursday, October 8th versus the Hawks.
Okay.
So, hey, Kingston Fleming is going to be coming to the AT&T, the Frost Bank Center, excuse me.
Yeah.
There you have it there. And by the way, I don't know if you saw this, but he hosted Kingston, that is. He hosted a free boys basketball camp in San Antonio. Literally said in the flyer, I want to get back to the city, San Antonio, that gave me everything. For those who don't know, Kingston Fleming, the Hawks rookie guard, grew up his high school days in San Antonio.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I'm going to get the full schedule up here for everybody to see here. Just give me a few seconds. But again, they got a games against the Hawks. We got a 5. Let's see. There we go. So yeah, I have it. There it is. Hawks are up first Thursday, October 8th. Then you got the Suns Saturday, October 10th. The Jazz. That'll be an interesting game because Jazz, that's an up-and-coming team right there. I think they make waves as soon as next year. The Jazz.
I've got them as a play-in team next year.
Yeah. Then they get the Suns again. That's a home game. You can tell because the Suns logo in the first one is darker, and then the second one is darker. And then they close out at home preseason slate against the Kings. You have to see it there. Tickets are already available. You can go get your preseason tickets now, everybody, if you want. Just go to Spurs.com or Ticketmaster. By the way, Rudy, did you see that report that some veteran season ticket holders? One guy literally said that he went to a finals game. The Spurs staff saw him there, and they escorted him and his family or his son out.
Yeah.
And when he thought that he was up for recognition for being a season ticket holder. And apparently he said, no, they were throwing him out to ban him from the Frost Bank Center. When he asked why, he said they detected that he was one of those that sold his tickets. I think that is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, you embarrass somebody during a game like that. They already spent all that money on parking and gas. And then, I don't know, they bought some concessions before they sat down. Rudy, your thoughts on that? I think this is a bad look in the Spurs. They need to just give them a warning. Fine. Give them a slap on the wrist. What do you think about this?
It's funny, man, because when we were doing the NBA Finals, I know we were talking about playoff games, Jeff. We were emotional about it. Like, why is there more Knicks fans than Spurs fans? We always ask, why is there more Laker fans than Knicks fans? You're Spurs fans. The Spurs came out and said, we're going to take action if you do sell your tickets. Now, did this guy sell his tickets? Was it admitted that he sold tickets? I mean, I'm asking. I don't remember if it was.
I think they said that he did sell his tickets.
Okay. So, again, I sympathize with that, and I get where you're coming from. But if it's in black and white and it's on a legal document that you're not to be a reseller and sell these tickets, I mean, you are at your own risk. And if you did sell tickets, the Spurs have every right to do what they want to do. And it sucks. You're there at the game with your son. You're a 30-year season ticket holder, yada, yada. I feel bad for the guy, but also at the same time, yes, it's a bad look for San Antonio, for the Spurs. Could have probably given him a warning, especially if he's 30 years into the season ticket process. That I understand. Give him a warning, but technically, if you look at it, a legal side, the warning was given when they said, do not resell these tickets, or you could or will be banned from buying tickets again. So it's like the left shoulder has the good side and the right shoulder has the bad side. You were warned. I do understand you were warned. Is it wrong to get kicked out of a game? Yeah, it's wrong to get kicked out of a game. But at the same time, they were warned, Jeff. I mean,
I just think, like, you buy tickets, those are your property now. It's like me. If I buy turtle action figures,
sure,
I can resell if I want to.
Yeah,
or my property.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But show me a law where it says if they tell you can't do it, then you're breaking the law, right?
Yeah, I think this is just a bad look. You get all these season ticket holders coming out and saying, yep, I'm banned. Yep, I canceled. Yep, I can't buy tickets anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But think about this too. If you're pretty much canceling these people's season tickets, imagine the resale value that the Spurs can use now. Like, maybe I was selling you tickets, season ticket packet for $50, you break the terms of service.
Mhm.
Now I get those ticket backs. I can sell them for $100 now.
I mean, it's at your own risk is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you buy the tickets. I mean, I look at tickets for a concert for my little girl, and this is a band that's not even like, I mean, it's a popular band, but I look on and they're all Ticketmaster, they're all resale. All
I
of
think the
them.
band
So
is called Rudy Campos and the Care Bears.
like,
right?
no, definitely not. But I mean, an $85 ticket is reselling for $611. And that's upper like
Yeah.
nosebleed. I'm like, there's no freaking way. So I understand. I get it. They were made examples of.
Mhm.
A lot of these
Oh,
fans
boy,
were
were
made
they.
examples
Yep.
of. But again, you buy them at your own risk. If you're
Mhm.
buying them and they say, and you sign a document when you buy them. I mean, obviously you sign paperwork when you buy the tickets. If you're a season ticket holder, you're held to whatever rules the Spurs, put in place. So I get what you said. Well, it's my property. Yeah, it's your property, but you're on the Spurs' property ultimately. So
Ugh.
it's whatever they're not a public establishment. It's a private institution. So
Yeah.
whatever rules they have, you have to abide by. And I feel bad for him, but rules are rules, man. I'm sorry. I have to go by what the Spurs said on that one.
Yeah, I disagree with them. I think I just think there's got to be a better way to handle
Mm.
this. I think there's got to be a better way, whether that's maybe limit their season tickets. Don't ban the person. Don't give them the opportunity to correct themselves, and give the Spurs their money, which they want. But yeah.
But I do expect a full refund. I'll say that. If you ban them, you may as well give them the refund. That's BS.
I wonder if any season ticket holder is going to bring a lawsuit against the Spurs for this.
They can't. It's in black and white, man. Like,
no, I know it'll be challenging, but if it's just somebody who wants to try it,
they can try it all day. But
Yeah.
I guarantee that
It's money,
Spurs
man.
legal system is pretty damn good. So,
yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's moving on to some lighter news. Rudy, you collect stuff.
Sure.
I know you collect anime figures.
Sure.
Heck, I ran into you one time at Ross, and we were talking about the figures they have at Ross one time. They, by the way, Ross is a freaking treasure trove of great
At the
figures.
especially around Christmas time. That's when they
Yes.
have all the good stuff out.
Yeah, but the point is this: I'm a collector too. I like collecting stuff. It's fun, it's exciting. Look what's behind. I got a freaking lightsaber right next to me. Man, I collect things at all. But just how far would you be willing to go to have a collectible in your collection when it comes to Victor Wembanyama or just Spurs in general? In case y'all missed it, there was a recent auction on Golden Auction House. All right. Golden Auction House, we all know, is just one of the most popular auction house. Think eBay or Sotheby's. It's the same concept, right? But this one just specifically focuses on sports collectibles. Now, Victor Wembanyama, he made his all-star NBA debut in 2026. Y'all remember that? That was the Chris Paul gaming the system, the Rising Star Challenge, I think is what it was. By the way, to this day, I don't think they did not cheat. They didn't cheat.
No,
I don't think they cheated.
Found a loophole and they used it.
They found a loophole.
Yeah.
That's it. Nobody says this is a shot attempt.
No.
That's a shot. That's their shot attempt. But hey, okay, we don't have to crack here. All right. So the point is this. Well, Victor Wembanyama, his nameplate on his locker, I'll bring you a picture in just a few minutes, was up for sale at Golden Auction back in April 2026. The sale finally went through. Rudy, I know you have the money, but would you spend over $9,000 on a Victor Wembanyama locker room nameplate? Would you go that far?
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry. Nameplate, not a jersey, not a signed basketball, not a basketball card, a nameplate.
I have a hard time spending $80 on a basketball card or something like that I really want. So no, not on a nameplate. I think you said it was his first All-Star game. So, I mean, there's some sentimental value.
There's some allure there. Yes, I can see that.
There's some value to it, but what I've always told people that collect and everything like that, I say, look, you pay what you feel the card or the collectible is worth. Do I think a nameplate is worth $9,760 or whatever it is? No, it's not worth that at all. I mean, let's be real. 9,000, Jeff? Yeah, if it was autographed, that's different.
Oh, if it's autographed, that goes higher.
Yeah, I know what I'm
It's autographed by
saying.
him.
But for 9,000, I would have hoped it'd be autographed because then you're talking about a 1-of-1 it's signed by him. It's his first NBA All-Star nameplate. Then that's different. I mean, yeah, it's going to go for a lot more, but not just for the nameplate. So
yeah.
no.
Yeah, there were only 7 bids for it though.
Well, yeah, I don't think there's very many people that have $9,000 laying around to throw around.
9,000. That is just way too much. Way too much. You're right.
Did they start the bid at $1 like they do on eBay?
No. My goodness, man, that is a lot of money. You want to tell everybody your story about the Luka Doncic card or nah?
Why do you bring this up, Jeff?
Because I just thought about it right now. Because you said sports cards right now.
I can see if I have a picture of it. I know I have.
Oh, you want to add more salt to your wound?
So back when Luka Doncic was obviously a rookie, I bought a box. I used to be a big collector, like a really big collector, and I bought a box of Prism for, I think at that time Prism was $200.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like $189, I think is what it was. I was at a card show. I bought the box, cracked it open at the card show, and lo and behold, I had a Luka Doncic autographed rookie card, gold, which is numbered to 10. And to this day is, I think, the only Prism gold numbered to 10 ever be pulled. So I've never seen another one out there. The only one that's ever been pulled was the one that I had. So I ended up selling it, obviously. I got it graded at Beckett the same week. I pulled it on a Sunday. I was at Beckett that Wednesday in Dallas, and I ended up getting it graded. I ended up selling it, and it sold for a whopping $7,500. And
from your sale.
Yeah, my sale. I basically what do you call it? I had a buddy of mine, DC Sports 87, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, card people around on eBay. So at that time they were still growing. Zach Kamen is the founder of that. So shout out to him. Sold it for $7,500. Original asking price, Jeff. I sent him the card. He goes, let's do original asking price first. I said, okay. $50,000 was the original asking price.
Oof.
And I was like, there's no way we're going to get it. He goes, let it sit for a while. We did. I said, you know what? Put it to auction. We'll go. He goes, sold for $7,500. To this day, that card sold once before, I think. And I want to say it sold last for 80-something thousand. Now, that card right now, in today's market, it's well over 6 figures. Well over.
We actually have audio of Rudy.
No, God.
When he saw the final sale, the recent sale over 80K.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, man. If I find that picture, I'll post it on X and tag you in it. But
my God,
that is the absolute worst feeling I've ever had, knowing that card could have potentially paid off a house for me and cars. So absolutely.
All right, Rudy, you'll live. You lived
so far.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we're done with some Spurs news, but we're not done with this show because it's your turn to take over the mic, everybody. Rudy's been monitoring the chat. What do we got?
Okay, so going back up to the evening, Spurs fan, Spurs Ann was in here saying good evening. We have RR210 saying go Spurs go. They were spent. So she's talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder Spurs matchup and the Spurs in the finals. They were spending short turnaround for the finals. That's right. The Knicks had like a month off right before the finals started.
Practically, yeah.
I mean, they were ready to go. So Spurs, it was youth and it was, time off. They didn't have much time off. We talked about the Orlando job part. Yes, I do think the Sean Sweeney thing takes baby steps to get to the top. They did win. They won the Western Conference Finals.
Rudy, did they put up a Western Conference Finals championship banner next season?
I hope not. That's the most ridiculous thing I think.
Yay, we're second place.
Yeah, we're first in the West, but second with the rest. Yeah. That would be the perfect banner right there. Rudy, what happened to Duke when Ja Lucas took the Mia job and he wasn't on the bench? Yeah, I mean, it's in college. Basically, Ja Lucas took the job in Miami, and they kept him on the bench for Duke. So Duke ended up winning anyway, but it's different in the NBA, man. It's a whole other different. See, so many things had to go right to win it all. They just had to score some buckets at their end.
That's the thing, though. Everything was going right for like how many
45
minutes in the game?
minutes?
48 for 46 minutes, and then everything just collapsed.
It was terrible.
Every time.
It was terrible, man. It was terrible. Can Lee get that spot? No, we talked about Hae-Jung Lee. Spurs on pause. Time to cheer Becky on her 4-time champions. Hopefully,
how are the Aces doing? I don't know.
They're doing good. They're still one of the better teams in the WNBA. So they have a good opportunity to win another title. I don't think they do, but they're still up there. So
after all the success Becky's having, does she make the leap to the NBA?
I don't expect her to.
I don't think so. I think she's just having.
I think she would have to be. That's a tough one, Jeff, because I think she would have to struggle in the WNBA and then maybe get kind of, okay, I'm kind of done here with I need to be done. But she's on the path to being, Van Chancellor and, coaches like that from the past that were dominating in the WNBA. So I don't see her, leaving at all. RG Davis is playing very well the last couple of games.
It's just a position he's playing, buddy. He ain't going to crack that rotation.
I think he gets signed somewhere else. I really do. Jordan McLaughlin slowed the game up when necessary. That's why he's very
steady hand. It was a very good steady hand.
Does David Jones Garcia remind you of former Spurs Sam Mack? Holy
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I can't remember too much.
I remember him, but I don't remember how he played.
I don't know, man. Tim, that's a good one. I'm gonna say probably not. I have to go back. YouTube Premium. I've got YouTube TV, not Premium. I don't think they get something.
TV.
Yeah. Spurs answers. She already has Phoenix and Denver blacked out where she lives, so it's frustrating.
I don't get the reason why blacking out local games on League Pass matters.
I don't. You're paying for the damn service.
We're paying for the service. Just let us see. They call it League Pass, not League. Sometimes a pass.
Yeah, like League Pass, except for your local.
Except, yeah.
I don't know, man. I hope they get that. Remember the Spurs on paper?
Yeah, remember that.
Spurs.
I still remember the commercial for it. It was a guy on a ladder, just a silhouette, and in front of him was like the static TV.
Yeah.
And then the static TV would just turn on.
Yeah.
And there'll be flashes of like Robinson, Elliott, Avery Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. Spurs fan put them on CW Network or KABB.
They technically do that local broadcasting.
Sometimes. They sometimes do. Spurs has bands of the day. Yeah, we're old here. Jeff, Bella Flemings. Yeah, Bella Flemings is the sister of Kingston Flemings. She's on her way to Duke as well to play with Ariana Robertson, both San Antonio products. So yeah, let's put on another camp as well. Their example, what do you guys propose? Hated seeing Knicks fans in our house. So that goes back to what we said about the
ticket thing. Yeah.
It's damned if you do, damned if you don't, Jeff. It's a great topic because we had a problem seeing all those Knicks fans. And so the Spurs said, well, no more selling your tickets. But now that, a guy gets banned because he's been in 30 years and decides one time, I'm going to make my nut basically off of these tickets because they're going for outrageous prices. You signed on the dotted line. You knew what you were getting into. So why risk it? That's my problem, man. Why risk it? I don't know why you would risk that.
Oh, because of the you get to recoup your money and then some. That's why, financial reasons.
So
that's why
you probably recouped all your money from the season tickets that you bought already for that year. So again, you have to take into consideration you brought all your money back. They're gonna ban you. So what did you lose technically?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't buy season tickets, but they said you can buy tickets,
individual tickets,
individual tickets. So
all right, so let me buy 38 because now there's 4 games away from San Antonio.
Shoot, go buy 38 tickets. Yeah, I mean you can technically buy season tickets, just go do it a different way. Says, did y'all ever go to the sports bar back in the day to find a place? Fatso's was the one.
Fatso's was from here. Because I went to St. Mary's University, and it's Fatso's right down the street. That's where
I lived down the street from there, so
Yeah.
definitely Fatso's was the one. Wemby has done some bonehead decisions, but he's learning at warp speed. He's still a kid in many ways.
He is a kid. Remember that?
Tell you
He's
what.
still a kid.
He grew up when he signed that max deal and didn't go for the super max. That showed a lot of maturity right there.
Did you see that pushback from Windhorse and ESPN? His thing was that Wemby did not do the Spurs a favor by doing the $50 million cut.
Do you, as much as the media that you and I have been involved in, I agree with nothing that national media said. Windhorse, everybody. It is ridiculous to know that you're going to crap on a kid for leaving money on the table when at the same time, if these guys put money in they give them a contract, you think, no, I'm not going to take that.
Yeah.
I'm going to save some money for so-and-so. No, they're greedy MFers, dude. Like, they're going to take everything they can. So, yeah, I mean, don't speak on it if you're not going to do the same. That's all I got to say on that. It's dumb.
All right.
Jeff has the money to buy that.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I will say Jeff does own one of Bruce Wayne's Lamborghinis from the Dark Knight series. So
Not true.
I've seen it in person.
I wish I could own the tumbler. I want to own the tumbler.
You say that, Jeff, as it sits in your garage. I've seen your toys, man. I know what you got. Becky won't leave Asia like Pop and Tim. Yeah, she's solidified there. I don't think she ever leaves. Should the Spurs trade Wemby for Bronny James?
No.
He is the greatest NBA player.
No.
Love John, man. John's a former Central Catholic. He's a classmate of mine.
Hey,
Central Catholic.
Is Bronny out as soon as his contract is over, or do you think the Lakers just waive him and cut costs like that, cut a roster?
Unless the Lakers can get another free agent signing, they probably keep him for the season. The reason why is because he's so cheap. I mean, it fills a roster spot. You got to pay somebody there. They just keep him because they can stay under the cap with him.
Who's his other son? I heard his other son is
Bryce James. And I actually, so Bryce James played a whole total of 0 games, I think, at Arizona this past year.
Mm-hmm.
But on a player standpoint, I do like Bryce James more than Bronny James. So maybe he gets an opportunity this year.
How come he didn't play last year? 0 games, just hurt.
Arizona was pretty stacked, man. They're a pretty stacked team. So yeah,
he was
didn't surprise me.
Was freshman year, I should say. Right?
Yeah, freshman year. So it didn't really surprise me. NBA TV blacks out when the Spurs play. Yeah,
yes, they do. There are other ways, though, Tim. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I don't do that because, of course, I don't want to get my season privileges revoked if I go that route. So, Rudy, you are aware Tar Heels suck. Yes, I know Tar Heels suck.
Yeah.
When will Jeff interview Malik Brown so he could bring Rudy? That you wouldn't do that to
Duke
me.
thing, yeah.
I don't think you would do that to me. Hopefully not.
No, Duke thing, yeah. Man, what's with you and the Duke thing? Everybody just jumps on you with that.
So I grew up a Tar Heel fan. I'm always going to be a Tar Heel fan. North Carolina Tar Heels and Blue Devils are the biggest rivalry in college basketball. Probably one of the biggest rivalries in sports. Hate each other, all that good stuff. So, yeah, whenever certain people come into the chat, they always go to the Duke thing. And Coach Gio, former host with me is a Duke guy as well. So he gets shots in every now and then when he gets the opportunity. So that's it, man.
Good Lord. We got one more bonus comment in there.
Spurs End says until next time.
Yep. Until next time, Spurs End. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. See, she was the first one to comment, and now she's the last one to comment. So
absolutely.
All right, we're going to put a bow on this live episode of Spurs in Focus. Rudy, your turn to brag about the answer.
Yeah, so the Sports Answer, we got 2 different shows. We either come to you on Friday for the Friday Drive. It's myself and Derek Irvin, or you'll catch us in studio on Thursdays for a Thursday night, the light edition of the Sports Answer. So again, it's myself. It's Derek Irvin. We have a lot of fun. We talk NBA, obviously. San Antonio Spurs. NFL's right around the corner, so we're getting to NFL talk. You can catch all that on Answer Now TV on YouTube. And yeah, I mean, we kind of made people upset on the TikTok shorts that we posted, Jeff, because Derek said Dylan Harper might end up being a top 3 guard in the San Antonio Spurs when it's all said and done. He's going to rank right up there with Manu Ginobili and George Gervin. Nobody better than those 3 right there.
Over Parker.
He says over Parker. So not only that, we also did say Wemby, Castle, Harper, who's the odd man out if it ever came down to it, it'd be Stephon Castle.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you can catch a whole lot.
Prominent guards. Was Captain Late a guard?
James Silas, point guard.
So over Captain Late.
Over Captain Late. Yeah, I mean, he says he's probably going to be right up there with George and Manu, and
Wow.
that's it. Nobody below, nobody above him after that.
Well, I think it's way too early to see that, but if that's what he's projecting, then I'll take it. That means Spurs might get some good shots at winning multiple titles while Harper's still in uniform. I don't know. So I think about that. Will Harper be here long term? I don't know. Did you hear? I mean, it was interesting what Vassell said about how Harper was kind of complaining about lack of playing time during the regular season. But it should have come surprised because Mitch Johnson also alluded to it during the regular season. So, hey, look, he's good and he knows it. And he definitely wants more PT. And I think he will get a lot more PT next season. There's no doubt about that. Rudy, thank you for taking time out of your business schedule to join us here in a live episode of Spurs in Focus. Rudy will be back next week. So don't worry. Don't everybody calm down. Rudy will be back next week. So, yeah, we appreciate you, Rudy, as always. And as everybody else, we thank y'all for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Come here every day, every second, every week if you want to get caught up on the latest in the silver and black. The NBA doldrums is about to be here, like ASAP, but we'll keep you going until preseason starts, training camp starts, all that good stuff. So stick with us during the slow period of the NBA offseason. Subscribe wherever you get your favorite podcasts: iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music, that Pocket Casts, Amazon Podcasts. We are everywhere. Go subscribe right now. And the Spurs in Focus Substack, it is free. It is free. There's other stuff we didn't get into, like the latest Wemby basketball card. Y'all seen it? It's pretty cool. Go check it out. Also, murals, a mural update. Everybody's getting a mural now in San Antonio. Now, Rudy's going to get his next, apparently. It's going to happen. It's going to be at the Answer Studios. That's where it's going to be at.
Hope so.
So go check it out right now. Spurs in Focus Substack. It is completely free. Sign up today. And we'll be back on Monday. Still chasing the guests, but we'll be back here to talk all things silver and black. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia, and now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.